Hey everyone, welcome back to my podcast, Flowering into 5D. I have another wonderful guest to chat with today. Her name is Ewelina Korus. I'll tell you a little bit about her before we get started. So, Ewelina is an empowerment coach specializing in manifestation, visualization, and energy alignment. She brings a unique and creative approach, combining diverse tools and modalities to activate lasting transformation. Her work is rooted in alignment, clarity, and full presence, guiding women to connect deeply with who they truly are and to craft their vision from that space of truth and wholeness. Ewelina's mission is to activate the version of women who are open to receive and to step fully into their vision aligned with their true self, not by fixing themselves, but by embodying their potential, shifting their mindset, raising their energy, and moving with intention. She leads women to create lives they fully enjoy, grounded in aligned action, focused, elevated energy, and clear vision. Through her signature programs, workshops, and speaking engagements, Ewelina has sparked transformations across the globe, supporting women in staying connected to themselves, navigating powerful transitions, manifesting new environments, and even preparing their minds for major life shifts like surgery, all from a grounded, soul-aligned space. So she is now open to receiving paid speaking opportunities, and she is stepping into more stages, podcasts like this one, hey, summits, workshops, and live or virtual events where impact and women's transformation take center stage. Her presence activates the version of women who are ready to take aligned action toward a new vision, one built from the present moment and not shaped by the past. And wow, 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 wow. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
No, thank you, for having me here, and I am very grateful that I can add something to your podcast and share my value, and of course,
I'm super
also
duper
by this
excited.
way help also other women to rise.
Yes, exactly. We rise together, right?
Yes, definitely we do.
Yeah. So I just want to ask just right off the jump. So you talked a lot about manifestation and it's setting intention. So I want to know why is setting an intention so important while crafting a new vision?
Yeah, no, I will say, setting intention is actually like lighting a candle in dark room because this it's become actually your inner compass. Then when you are creating new vision, especially during a transition or after some period of disconnection or some other yeah things in your life, then actually the intention is also what brings clarity and soul into the process because actually pure intention, this need to be of course very pure intention through your heart, then brings really wonderful things. And this is not actually about controlling every detail or forcing the outcome, but it's more about creating energetic foundation from your heart and why that feels deeply, rooted in who you really true are and who you are becoming. Because actually, you are the person who you think you want to become, but actually you need to only awake, and the pure intention will only, what I said, will be the guidance, the compass actually to be the one. And actually, when I guide those women, I craft their vision, but we didn't start with goals. We start actually with the intention and with the true who they truly are, because that is the best way to actually to manifest, not only manifest material but spiritual things, but also even sometimes the peace in mind is so important. And mostly people forget because looking at material things, but actually yeah, you need to have first the foundation, and the intention, of course, will help you because, setting intention for huge achievement, but also for even for the day, like how you want to look your day. And when you will navigate and you will be commitment today, every day, then this will really brings yeah, wonderful things in your life, and you will actually craft your own life, navigate actually. And that's why intentions, yeah, I will say it is most important. It's like try to connect the inner with outer and the unseen with the seen, because intention is actually you cannot see, but it's depend on each stage. But sometimes when you put the intention, you of course see some visual uh, things in your mind, and by this way, this will be also like kind of guidance you towards. Yeah. Yeah, of course, it's dependent. Everyone is different. Maybe for me, it's easier because I practiced that for years, if not all my life. But yeah, but that's why the intention is so important. Yeah.
I love that. And I'm sure you've heard it before. Attention goes or energy flows where attention goes. There we go.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah, like Tony Robbins said also, and yeah, where your focus goes, then energy flows, and definitely that's very important. That's why setting intention, either sometimes or gaining clarity or whatever, that's so important because yeah, there is what you said, there is the focus, there is the attention, and there you are going. And yeah, and if you didn't put an navigation how to do, then will happens a lot of things in your life without yeah, without even realizing then you are creating that, because you are not intent what you are bringing into your life. And that's also yeah, not setting intention in decision is also decision. Only the hard one sometimes. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's I've definitely been on both sides. Like I really work to be like a co-creator of my life and be aware of what I'm bringing into my life and, aware of the things that I'm taking in, but whether it be food or media or any kind of intake. Um, but I've also been on the other side where I was just letting everything kind of happen to me and not for me. And I mean, I can only say from my own experience, like, wow, what a difference my life like has changed so much just by setting those intentions and really just focusing on what's going on.
Yeah, that's really yeah, wonderful. And yeah, what did you did? If I can ask, of course, yeah, what helps you to actually yeah to change that that path?
You know what? It's been a long time, like a slow path of just being more aware of things. Um, I don't really have one specific thing like, oh, I did that and it just changed everything for me. Um, but I would say meditation, yoga, like, the check, just being more mindful. I will also say, like, full disclosure, I took some medicinal mushrooms in my 20s, and that really gave me a kind of like a higher vision of humanity in itself. And it was a very powerful experience for me in a good way. Um, and I think that really kind of gave me like a little peek into what's possible. And then I just kind of kept learning and kept growing from there and reading books and, just just playing around, really, just trying things out and experimenting and being open more than anything.
No,
Yeah.
wow, yes, that's that's always helpful, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I have another question for you if you don't mind. So I mean, clearly you're amazing at what you do because I'm catching that right away. And I just want to know more about like your process. Like, how do you guide women to manifest their visions from a place of alignment and and wholeness. And just out of curiosity, like what kinds of practices or tools do you use to shift mindset and raise energy and help people stay connected to the present moment?
Yeah, then that's a good question. Yeah, the first actually step, yeah, to manifesting with alignment then is actually coming back to yourself.
Mm.
Because I believe, and I of course I experience also different things in my life. And I know that when we are disconnected, and especially women, then then happens a lot of things in our life. And when we are in ourself, we also know how to take actions, how to make decisions, how to make investments, and all around things, and even how to build the relationships with others. And that's why the comeback to yourself, that is the most important, what I shared also. Then first, of course, I guide what the person wants, but the first is actually the woman. First, it's very important to know who you are, and yeah, and from this place, on this moment, also present moment, not who you were 20 years or 5 years ago, or even yesterday, or what you wish to be, only
Mm.
from the present moment, actually come back to this moment, what is going on now, right now, because from that, when you are also aware of things, you can let go and go towards your version of yourself. Actually, this is the version only sometimes need to be unlocked. And yeah, and that is comebacking, not the version, of course, we've also shaped by pressure, old roles or whatever, expectations, because expectation and women, that's a very hard topic, of course. But the parts, yeah, of you that, yeah, that you know who you are. And I use different modalities, but I guide women through practices that help them slow down, then listen within, release what no longer fits actually. We use guided meditation. I find I guide also women actually intuitively. Then of course we have first some conversation, and from that I also feel what is it. Sometimes I feel directly, sometimes needs to be a little bit more clarity for me
Mhm.
where this person is, because yeah, sometimes you can also hear what is going on, and from there I actually guide. And then sometimes really I was also surprised, and sometimes it's really even like very old patterns or old beliefs released during this meditation of after the meditation. That's sometimes what I hear. The stories are really wonderful. And yeah, and later on, of course, the visualizations tools, also some exercises for visualization. Not everyone have the skill to visualize clearly, but that's also very important. And of course, the vision boards that can help. But I know that the most important is to visualize in your mind. When you visualize and you see the picture within, that's how powerful it is, and that can so bring so much. Yeah, energy work in different ways. Also, yeah, like body work or whatever, this helps a lot. And of course, journaling, that is
Mm.
more like, yeah, journaling is so powerful. Or yeah, that's always helped to release some parts, or yeah, bring the awareness on, bring also some ideas on the papers, whatever. But that's very powerful also way to take action from there. And some powerful subconscious tools to remove the noise. Sometimes can be also that meditation connect with brief work.
Mhm.
And yeah, and what I say the most important, we reconnect with the truth. And from there, when we are connected, then our energy also rise naturally, and manifestation actually becomes more about receiving than chasing, because you attract actually what you are already this person, you are already the worth of it. what is it in only is, yeah, you need to also be open for receiving, and that's other part. And yeah, that's why the wholeness means you are no longer trying to fix yourself or look what I don't have or what I wish to have, but actually the present moment, who you are, no matter what the circumstances. And I believe then you have everything what you need in every moment, because you need to be also resourcefulness. You need to also create a path. And when you will always look outside yourself, what was it, or what I had, or what I didn't had, or what I wish to have, and you will never look for yourself, will be very difficult to actually to bring that in your life. And yeah, I will say also, of course, the simple remembering your power. Yeah, and from that state, I can say the vision becomes not just possible, but yeah, just the reality. And yeah, that's actually, yeah, how I guide women, and that's are partly the modalities which I use. Yeah, I combine sometimes. It's dependent for each person, it's different, but I combine some things like, yeah, giving, of course, also some information to implement, but I am more from the practice part, and I love also action because, yeah, without action is nothing happen. But even taking the action, especially for women, is the difficult part. The action also to taking care of themselves. That's
Mm.
also the action which needed be to take, and that's why, yeah, for me it's more important to, yeah, to use it in different ways. Sometimes I know the meditation is the most important for this person, and I know, yeah, even sometimes I had also some person, she said, yeah, I don't have time for meditating, I have kids and whatever. And
Mm.
I find a way. I thought I would just send her 15 minutes meditation and let's see. And she took the leap. She meditated for a longer time. And after, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks, she sent me voice message. Then she forgot maybe twice or 2 times, but she gave the time for herself for 15 minutes. And she saw also a lot of changes like material and other things also in her, yeah, in her worth, because she was feeling like she was not enough. That's why, yeah, this all works. Only sometimes, of course, the action needs to be even pause or taking the pause and think about and listen. What I share also often, you have to, how I also brought some things into my life. I also pause and listen at. But it's not mean that I totally didn't did nothing, because even being consistently intent with it and 24 hours almost leaving this part, this was also, yeah, the work only. Yeah, you didn't call this work, but of course there need to be always action taking. Yeah, and that's how I actually guide women and what I am using. Yeah.
That sounds so powerful. And I love the different modalities that you're combining. And also, I think it's definitely important when you're working with someone that it should be kind of like a customized experience. I feel like, we're also different. And to just say like, everyone can do this 45-minute meditation. I mean, like you said, like you met your client where she was at, and that's so powerful. And I'm sure that she is so much better off now thanks to you.
Yes, definitely. I know. Yeah, and that's why for me it's also still important to actually to, yeah, to have the individual touch, yeah,
Mhm.
even because I know how powerful it is. And yeah, of course, also in some group combination, this is also good. But when you work towards really this person, individual, yeah, that can bring much more in their lives, and that's, yeah, that's the power from other sides. Group combination is also good because you learn from each other. Sometimes
Mm.
some person makes mistakes, or someone have some awakening in different ways, and yeah, there are also cons and pros, but yeah, I do believe that the important, the touch with the individual touch is very important, because we are all unique, and you and me and everyone. and everyone needs something else. And yeah, and if we can, yeah, activate this part in this person, then why not? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just curious, like you mentioned earlier in the conversation that this is like manifestation and intention setting is something you've been doing for, from what I understood, for most of your life. I'd love to know a little bit more about how you came to this work.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, to be honest, from childhood, I really manifested without
Mm,
knowing that even the words manifesting. This was like something totally, no, my parents never taught me about that. I was just doing. Yeah, I was also very brave, but also, yeah, like curious for a lot of things. And I also wrote down what I wanted. And yeah, back then this was not so popular like now because now I see then everyone is with vision and everything. So, but for me was like I wrote really a lot of goals or dreams this time. Maybe this was not really very yeah, with a lot of awareness like now, but this was like I wrote and I don't know how, but I knew it. For instance, I want this kind of direction of study, and I had a lot of different thoughts, and I and I have finished them. Actually, all which I choose almost. I just one only refine, and yeah, I guess I had only three dreams which I refine later, and this was not anymore aligned. But for the rest, yeah, I was just actually I want also move to foreign country living, and I knew it that in high school then I won't just put my life outside my country.
mhm,
And I did everything. Yeah, maybe I didn't have very clear vision much more how will be that exactly. But I knew it always. I want to build my life outside my home country. And yeah, and I also did realize it. And there was like, I was actually living with the manifestation, but never thought of making that from that. And yeah, and actually, when I start my offline business for interior, this was the moment when ups and downs. This was just before COVID
mm,
hit, and then later I actually I went to work for somewhere in some places, yeah, but I was also thinking of working online, and yeah, and this was like, yeah, I came across a mentor, and then I came to this actually space, and during this process, because they saw something else with me, what I could use, and in coaching is different. You start with this niche and then but this felt like business coach felt not fully aligned and I thought no that's not fully what I really want to do even I had really a lot of background and also the technical things I know were quite good but this was like no let's do and then I came into mindset because I saw a lot of women had the issue with confidence. And actually, what I overcame because some years back, around 10 or 11 years ago, I was actually overcoming, some parts in living outside my home country where I lose my confidence. And and when I saw it, I came in the mindset, and later of course, you integrate a lot of things. And I felt like with these coaches, this was not fully not fully aligned with myself. And I know there is more, I mean, maybe not even more, but I knew it, there is something like I cannot put in my box and keep me like just only that. And I said to myself, no,
mhm,
I'm just opening the wings wider to globally and also helping actually women with what I also help at because I help them with actually more expat women to build their lives outside their home country and nurture their mind. But actually, it also for me was like doing that much more globally and then later expand a lot of different things. This is like, this is also everything like new creation, but this is like really filled and I saw also a lot of shifts directly when I said yes to that. And of course, still working on it, but I'm really, yeah, grateful. Then actually, I can say, yeah, I did it all my life, but I never thought that this I can do that professionally. And yeah, and even helping women like expat women to yeah to create their life. This is also actually helping them manifesting, but I didn't use the word manifesting this time. And yeah, and that's yeah, that's how I can say it came to the life. Yeah.
I love that.
Mm.
Well, and I'm just curious, like, so you mentioned you went through some difficult and potentially like some uncertain times. Like how did you stay focused on your vision and how can other people do that as well?
Yeah, that was very, very difficult in there. Yeah, indeed. This was so difficult time when yeah, when I lose my confidence because, yeah, you know, when you lose your confidence, you lose actually slowly or each parts because when you are not connected with yourself, what I mentioned, it, then you attract more and more, and there are like layers, then you are not aware of it, but in the end, you are actually in yeah in jobs which you maybe are not very grateful for. You are yeah you attract also people around. Yeah, you attracted a lot of people who complain and a lot of things like that, and that's put you actually more down. But yeah, I know not everyone is the same, of course, but for me was like I knew it because this time was for me like I had the passion also for interior also from childhood, but I had this within me and I knew it, then I want also do something with it. And even in this very challenges moment, I felt, however, I every day instead of going up, I was going more step down and down and down.
Mm.
But because I attract more those negative things. But even those, I had like my vision and yeah, and I was keeping on it. I also, yeah, first just even follow it like YouTube videos with Tony Robbins actually, because he was like the, I would say almost first person. No, before I had also some experience with self-development journey, but there was like Tony Robbins was really like the motivational. I was really listening, consistently listen a lot. And and I can say it also then of course yeah the vision becomes even more important when yeah when you say to yourself that that's actually not luxury but this is the lifeline now and you yeah you are always the creator and you can also always change the shift and sometimes doesn't need to be really long. And for me, yeah, when things get hard, go back to the feelings of your vision, what holding you. Because for me, I had also, even thus, I had some vision. And yeah, and what kind of freedom, joy, peace, or whatever you want to bring into your life. Because even on those, I knew it, that's temporary. But yeah, but I know sometimes you can make the shift quicker. You not need to wait till that is the warning, and you are yeah almost I will say almost burnout or whatever or different ways. But then you are in relationship when you will not feel very happy or whatever, and yeah, and then just return to your vision and as often as it feels. That's why even the intention, what I share, is very important, what you want to bring to your life. And write down, journal, write down about that, reread it, visualize it, even in those moments, because those moments doesn't mean that you are there. And no matter how you feel, just feel into, even when the doubts show up, just focus on it and yeah, and if needed, just revise it and yeah, and involve that actually, yeah. Yeah, and don't judge also. This is very important. Don't judge yourself for whatever, for well-being, yeah. And refocus through the love and the pressure, yeah. Not the pressure, but from the love. And Yeah, and I would say anchor actually the smallest aligned steps you can take, and action creates momentum. And yeah, and I can say then for me was also then the moment when I knew it. There was too many things. Like I was working in some place. Okay, this was very close to my home, but I was yeah, I felt people complain a lot. I can give this example. And I felt really because even I start complaining what my
Mm-hmm.
friends said, you never complain how it came because they knew it me. I well, no matter what happens, always I was like with a huge smile and no matter there will be always way. But this time, because I attract so many things, and then you start also changing yourself. But you are actually not the person on the need. Sometimes the environment change you, but you can't change the environment fully. This is not about moving some other place and change something because you will take yourself and you will maybe attract other people like that. But this is more like changing yourself in this situation. And this was the moment when I also changed first. I said, okay, they complain, but I am not going doing that anymore. This was triggering me because this was not nice to see every time and hear things. But from other side, I said, okay, and I say to myself, I don't know how, but I will find a way to move from this job also. I find also other job, and this was like, this was the first step. Later, also the relationships was also this time not fully. Then was next step the relationship and everything. Like yeah, there is a lot of things. I even 2 months ago is published a Theo author's book with my story about this part.
Hey everyone! Again, we got cut off. We were having such a good conversation that we just lost track of time. What can you do? So, I will just quickly share how you can connect with Ewelina if you would like to work with her or learn more about what she does. You can find her on Facebook. It's Ewelina Korus. I'll spell that for you. It's EWELINAAAKORUS. You can also find her on Instagram, EK Positive Mindset, and her website, ekpositivemindset.com. She also has a Facebook community that any woman can join if they would wish, Empowered Global Women. So all of this will be in the description, so no need to be like, oh no, I didn't catch that. Don't worry, you can find it in the description. She also has written a chapter in a book called A Journey of Riches: Unlock Your Hidden Potential and Transform Obstacles into Infinite Possibilities. So you can find the link on also the show notes or the description below. So until next time, have a beautiful day and lots of love.